I was like, I'm not ready. My Spanish is not that good.
How's it going, guys? Sergeant Rod here with Specialist Young, a WCAP wrestler that came and taught at Paladuro last night. He had an amazing time from what he told me. He said some of you tried to throw him last night, but probably did not happen. Not at all.
No highlight reels.
No, let's just be real. Specialist Young, tell us more about yourself. Where are you from?
Okay, so I'm originally from Aurora, Illinois. It's a little bit southwest of Chicago. And I got into wrestling with my father. He was a coach, and he eventually took over the program from his coach. And so I just kind of continued that legacy, grew up wrestling. And in high school, I didn't end up winning state until after winning nationals my junior year for cadet Greco, which it used to be called FILA, but now it's like called something UWW. And then I won state my senior year, and I was still trying to figure out college. My grades weren't all that great, so I had to go JUCO. Through that, I was able to get my grades up, do a lot better, got recruited to university, I went D1. Then when COVID hit, like wrestling was kind of finished. I was like, oh, I don't know what to do. I've got my bachelor's, nobody's really hiring. I was like, okay, I'm either gonna go back to school or I'm gonna go to the military. Still wrestling and competing at the time, and someone's like putting the bug in me, yo, there is a program for wrestling in the Army. I was like, I don't know about that. And then I started looking into it.
It's a trap.
Right. I was like, you know what, that sounds actually pretty good. And so I got in contact with the coaches, and they're like, well, you know what, we got criteria you got to meet. If you really want to do it, if you start doing well, this will be a great option for you. And I was like, I have a lot of family in the military. I talked to my brother. He's a striker mechanic. He's over in Korea right now. He's like, you sure you want to do that? I was like, yeah.
So what was the criteria you had to make to get into WCAP?
So the criteria is like a E-class national tournament. It's like placing top 3. So that could be college, D1, 2, 3, I believe JUCO, as well as the international style tournaments, taking top 3 of those national teams.
What was the one thing that you did to solidify your spot on the WCAP team?
So I was a runner-up for 2022 national teams, barely missing that mark of being the national team member, so that's my goal.
What's your favorite move?
I'd say a body lock. So I just step in, body lock, suplex. I'm pretty quick, I'm pretty fast for my size.
What weight class are you?
87 kilos.
Everybody at 87 kilos, watch out for his body lock. He already told you. He's a warm.
They know it's coming, so now I have like different stuff to like kind of set it up.
What's your favorite defensive move? What's your thing?
I'd say like, say if I'm down and I get called for passivity and they put me in parterre and I'm down, I'm a pretty tricky guy to try to throw, and I'm pretty tall. So guys have a hard time really trying to throw me. I'll just like turn back into them or something like that if they try to lift me.
Did you play any other sports before wrestling?
I did a little bit of MMA. My dad fought for a little bit, so he'd just like take me to practice, and I played around with like jiu-jitsu. I used to play baseball and football as well in high school.
Any of those things translate into wrestling for you?
For sure. I was teaching the kids the other day that I was like underhook throw by like you're throwing a baseball.
And when you were on the mat yesterday teaching, could you see like they're actually wanting to do this? This is what they want. That's why they're here.
A lot of those little kids like actually surprised me. I was like, how long have you been wrestling? Like 3 years. I'm like, dude, you're like 6. How are you doing that? And like it was like really quick. They picked it up real quick, and I was really excited about that. Like I love teaching kids. I remember being young, not having like a lot of direction, wanting somebody to teach me and give me a little something to like breadcrumb off of.
Being part of the WCAP team, do you like going TDY and teaching? Is that pretty cool that you get to travel the nation and just teach? That's your job.
This is actually my first one, so I'm really excited. I've been asking them like, yo, send me on a tear. I want to go teach at the high schools. This is cool. And they're like, we'll wait till season's kind of like slowing down. And they finally sent me on one. I was like, okay, awesome. I finally get one. And I get to travel. I haven't really been to Texas too much, so like when I'm not doing this, I go get some good grub.
What have you eaten locally around here? Where have you gone?
We went to this place called Twin Peaks. Just say Sergeant put us onto this other spot, this brewery. I can't remember what it was called, but that was pretty good too.
Well, you are 21 and are allowed to enjoy yourself a little bit. For your coach, he's not going to make weight next year. Just blame Texas food. What's your diet look like when you're on season? So
in season, I'd say I have a lot of chicken and a little bit of beef most of the time, and salmon and rice and greens.
What's your favorite protein?
My favorite
flavor protein?
I'd say salmon is probably one of my favorites. Like it's high in
energy.
Oh wait. Protein drinks?
Yeah, protein drinks.
I just started on the protein drinks. My nutritionist got on me about that.
There's no salmon flavored protein. If you can find one, send it to Specialist Young. I'll give you his address.
I say like Oreo or vanilla. Okay. I like the vanilla.
Yeah. Where do you guys train?
We train out of Fort Carson. So right on like McGrath Ave. We're right there in Fort Carson.
How much do you guys go to the training center?
Usually when they have the World Team Camps, we all go over there for that. I know the women's team goes over there at least once or twice a week. The men's team, not as much. Sometimes those guys will try to get into our room. Usually, like, the head coach will request, hey, bring those WCAP guys.
Jordan said, like, your room's full of dogs. Who's one person you roll with that's your go-to guy to train with at your facility?
Spencer Woods and Kamal Bay. Those are my guys. Spencer is really good at positioning, and he's, like, teaching me, like, yo, Tim, you got to slow things down a little bit. Don't be, like, scared to just hold on to the position. Let the guy freak out a little bit. And then Kamal Bay, he's just, like, a tricky guy. Like, you got to just, like, hold him and, like, not let him do his thing.
What's your best moment in WCAP?
Qualifying for the Olympic team trials. That was my first time. I kind of missed the first one. I won the NYAC Invitational, International Invitational. So that was my first international tournament, and it was really cool. I thought I had bad luck in New York because we had the trials out there before, didn't do so good, and then came back and won that tournament with international invites. So that was pretty cool.
What is the mindset you have when you get on the map? Is there a song you have to listen to?
So I'd say having like a match routine is really important. Ellis Coleman's someone who like kind of taught me like try to do something like the same every single time. He has one song he plays every time he steps on the mat. I'm like, wow, I need to put that into my routine. So usually I'll put my headphones on, I'll bounce around a little bit, maybe joke around with my coaches. Some people need to be serious, some people need to be like a little lighter. So just kind of know where you're at, but make sure you know you're getting your heart ready to get into a match, bounce around. And I like kind of go through my move list in my head, like what do I want to do, what do I want to focus on, and just focus on dominating my opponent and not letting him put his intentions onto me, or rather me putting my intentions on him.
What's your go-to song?
It's probably like some young boy type stuff.
Yeah. Favorite wrestling show?
Brutus.
Brutus.
Yeah.
What is the one place that the Army took you that you were just like, Amarillo, Texas? Probably not.
Croatia. They actually sent me over to Croatia. That was so cool. That was like my first time being overseas since like 2014. So it was a different experience.
Amarillo, second place. What did you think about that last all-branch wrestling tournament we had a few weeks ago?
I did get to go to that. That was really awesome.
What was that experience like, seeing all the branches coming in and seeing who's the best?
I thought that was really cool. That was my first time like actually competing next to Ellis Coleman, all these guys I kind of grew up with. Kamal Bay, he's from Chicago as well, so I was like really excited about that. Ellis just came back, and it's like awesome to see that actual team side of things because we're more of an individual sport. Mm-hmm. So I really like that. We get to like face the Navy and the Air Force, and they think they can beat us, but no.
What was the final outcome to that tournament?
The final outcome was a butt whooping to nothing.
The Army won.
The Army.
Just being, yeah, Army. One person you would like to go against in wrestling? Cael Sanders in his prime.
I think Tracy Hancock, but he kind of retired from the sport. He's doing WWE now, but I'd like to like get in the room with him and like learn from him. Yeah.
All right, we're gonna spit fire with Special Jim some questions. He's got to pick one or the other. First one, The Weeknd or Bruno Mars?
Bruno Mars.
Vince or Michael Jackson?
Ooh, you're the king of pop. I'm gonna go Michael Jackson.
George Strait, McGraw.
Morgan Wallen.
That's a third. Sure, let's go with that Morgan Wallen. Ford or Chevy?
Ford. Mustang.
Trash. Gotcha. Nike or Adidas?
Nike.
Burgers or pizza?
Burgers.
All right, Jujutsu Kaisen or Dragon Ball Z?
Yo, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a Jujutsu Kaisen hater. I'm gonna go DBZ.
So what's your go-to?
I'd say Sword Art Online, and I kind of like My Hero Academia, even though people kind of hating on it now. But
original or abridged?
Abridged.
Abridged over the original?
Yeah.
What did you grow up watching?
Yu Yu Hakusho, DBZ, One Piece. Even though I fell off of that one.
Yeah. I got you.
Kind of long.
So I'm guessing you have a Crunchyroll.
Yeah, I do.
Cool, man. Like me growing up, we didn't have English channels because I was in a border town. So our Dragon Ball Z was in Spanish. So I was tripped out when I heard it in English. Dude, it's wild. It's so much better.
I believe it.
No, it's so more intense. It's like, aquí estamos en el Guerrero Con. And you're like, just like, damn, dude.
Yeah.
Like, and then Piccolo's like, ¿por qué estás aquí, Vegeta? And you're just like, and then it stops like, aquí vendemos con los capítulos de Dragon Ball Z. And you're just like,
yeah.
So that's how I learned Spanish. What's your routine like the night before a match? What do you eat? What do you sleep? What do you wear? Do you have a night routine? What facial creams?
I don't have a facial cream. I just kind of wake up, put a little bit of lotion on, but like not too much because it weighs a little bit.
Oh, that's a thing?
Oh, yeah.
That's a real thing?
Yeah, your skin will soak that up.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How much could you gain if I just like pounded to?
If you put like the bottle weighs a good amount.
But
so
I'm saying like if your body absorbs it, you're gaining weight.
Oh, you're probably not too much. Nothing crazy.
Yeah. But still, every gram counts.
Right.
So what is your night routine look like?
So usually I'll try to get heal in before I go to sleep, and then I'll work out. So like at least I have like a little food in my stomach. I like to have the room a little colder. I turn everything off so that I'm not like, distracted. And because sometimes going to sleep is like very hard, especially when you're cutting weight. It's kind of keeping you up, match anxiety, things like that. You might like watch a couple of videos, go through some technique before you go to sleep, and set an alarm, go to bed, get some good rest. But the chances of getting good rest is kind of tough. Kind of want to like dial things down, like not having too much activity going on, and just like get your 1 or 2 workouts in and just relaxing most of the day, honestly.
Last thing you got to do, sign the infamous Amarillo Recruiting Station wall.
Let's go, I'm ready.
Let's get it.
Let me see, I'm gonna pick a good spot. Oh yeah.